Sometimes life doesn't warn you before it changes everything. It doesn't send an alert. It doesn't give you time to emotionally prepare. One day you're in uniform, leading, giving pieces of yourself to everyone that needs you. And then one day your own body becomes a battleground. Today, I'm honored to sit with a woman who wore the uniform with pride, a woman who has carried strength in silence. This episode isn't just about breast cancer. This is about identity, about womanhood, and what happens when the world thinks you're okay, but the healing has just begun. Welcome to I Got You podcast. I'm Heather. Today, I'm meeting with this beautiful lady, Chelle. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have you introduce yourself and let me know a little bit about yourself and your journey with breast cancer.
Okay, I'm Chelle. I am a 21-year Navy vet. I retired in 2015. I am, like Heather said, I am a breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in February of 2022, February 22nd, 2022. During the time that I was diagnosed, I was also going through a divorce from my husband of 18 years at the time. So it was a lot going on.
Okay. So, Chelle, thank you for being on. I want you to be on to tell your story because I was
Okay.
surprised when I even found out that you were going through breast cancer because it was so quiet. So, can you take me back to the moment you first heard the words you have breast cancer? What was your first thought?
Let me tell you the interesting story on how my doctor gave me the information. So I was actually at an appointment and she called me and she said, this is exactly how it went. She said, I have your test results back. I said, okay. And she said, yeah, you have cancer. I
Like
said,
that?
huh? Just like that. I said, huh? I said, can you repeat? She said, yeah, it came back. You have cancer. And I said, well, what kind of cancer do I have? And she said, ductal carcinoma. And I said, well, can you spell it? She said, it's spelled just like the word duck.
No.
No, I don't think so. And I told her, just like this, I said, thank you for the information. Anything I need further, I will get it from someone else. And I hung up. And I was at an appointment. I was at another VA appointment, and the nurse that was in the room with me at the time, she was flabbergasted. She was like, was that your PCM? I said, yes, it was my PCM. And she said, what's her name? And I gave her a name. I don't want to say her name on here.
No, no,
And I
no.
gave her her name. She said, that is very unacceptable, the way that she just handled it. She said, did she give you any, did she ask you, were you in a safe place? And were you with anyone or anything like that? And I told her, I said, no, she didn't ask me none of those questions. So that's how I found out. That's how it was given to me. But leading up to that, leading up to before I found out, so I had just had a mammogram in August of the year prior.
Okay.
So not even 6 months. I had just had a mammogram. And
Uh,
for the first time ever, and I've been, because I have dense breasts, for the first
yeah.
time ever, this was the absolute first time that my mammogram ever came back normal. I didn't have to have ultrasound or nothing. First time ever. Right.
God.
So I was good. So December is when I actually found the lump. In my mind, I ignored it. I felt it, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's just a cyst because I have cystic breast. So in my head, it's just a cyst. I didn't think nothing of it. Oh, it's just a cyst. And I ignored it for a complete month. And I finally, my now husband, we wasn't dating at the time. We was just kind of
Friends.
together, but not together. You know what I'm saying? Just, But anyway, he said, you need to go get that checked out. He said, it don't feel right. You need to go get that checked out. And I was like, oh, well, they say I have cystic breast, so it's probably just a cyst. He said, no, please go get it checked out. And I went, I had an ultrasound. And while I was in the ultrasound, the doctor, I guess the doctor of the ultrasound tech or whatever, I don't know what her position is. She came in after, I guess the girl told her, like, it wasn't no
Oh,
weight or nothing. She was like, "Hey, I need to do a biopsy on you, and I need to do a biopsy on you today." I said, "Why?" And she was like, "I'm highly concerned with what I see." Okay, no problem. Still not thinking it was nothing serious, and that's what led up to the phone call.
so was it the same one who said she had to do the biopsy? That's the same one, or it's two different people?
That same day, I fired my PCM. That same day, I called and said I need a new doctor, and then they assigned me to the director of VA. The
Right.
regional director of VA then became my PCM.
See, and I don't want to go off track when it comes to this, but this is
It's
all. This is
okay.
from the VA. These are PCMs from
Mhm,
the VA. And a lot
mhm.
of things, again, even this podcast I started because I tried to find people who would talk to me. I don't reach out for help. You know how we are in the military. I don't reach out for help,
Yeah,
but this was too much for me to handle. And I tried 3 people from the VA. And when I said it was the worst service, it's almost like this is just a job and they were just reading something. Like there was no empathy, no energy behind nothing that they did.
mhm.
So hearing this about they just call you over the phone, you might have been driving, you don't know what you were doing and just gave that to you like that? Girl,
Yeah.
that's just crazy to
Part
me.
was the worst PCM I had. Everyone else since her,
Mm.
well, nope. I had another incident when I broke my ankle, but that's something else.
Yeah.
But she was the worst. Like I had issues with her before that day because we were doing a virtual and I guess
Mm.
they get timed or I don't know. Her time ran out. She said, "Oh, we out of time, gotta go," and hung up on me.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, so I had an issue with her, but I let her slide on that. But
Oh,
then when she did what she did, when it came to such a serious
yeah.
matter for me, like you give me information, I'm at another appointment. I now got to drive home alone with this news in my head, and you gave it to me like it was a scratch on the knee or something. And yeah, she was,
Oh, God.
I want to say her name, but I ain't gonna, I'm better
Yeah.
than that. I'm not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than
yeah. I
that, but
feel you.
she was
I feel you.
horrible. She
Girl,
is
that's so
horrible.
crazy. So, oh Lord. Did cancer feel like it interrupted your life, your family life, or what really how did you feel when you heard it and then?
Cancer has totally disrupted my life. Cancer is like, God, I don't know. So it's 2025. I'm still dealing with it. So that's how cancer is. And it's what I found in my journey that it's different for everybody. The process, what you go through, it affects you. Because I had a friend of mine who was we found out literally 2 weeks apart. 2 weeks. I called her to tell her, well, actually, her and her husband and I actually served in the military, but she and I are
Mhm.
friends. And I was calling him and her to tell them, and he told me, he said, "Sis, you lying." I said, "No, I wouldn't lie to you about something like this." He
Mhm.
said, "You ain't gonna believe this." And then he told me, I don't want to say his wife's name,
Yeah, yeah,
but
no.
she has it too. We just found out 2 weeks ago. I was like, "Oh my God, this is
Girl.
crazy." So she and I took the journey together.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess that's what I was gonna ask you. Was it well, I guess it wasn't lonely because you had your husband now. Your husband now was there. Did it
Mhm.
feel lonely though? Did it feel like you were going through this by yourself or
I say yes, and I'm gonna say that's my fault. Because if you know me and you know me,
yeah,
I'm
private?
I'm to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I don't
know.
do people. I mean, I hate to say it like that, and I'm gonna say that I had a lot of Navy sisters that reached out to me, that was
Mhm.
sending me stuff, that was,
Right.
trying to call me. I had, but because I didn't know how to deal with what I was going through,
Mhm.
I kept everybody at bay. Like
Mhm.
literally, my sisters and brothers, I didn't tell them per se. Like I never called them.
No,
The real that's just how private I am.
that's who you are.
I don't share a lot of what's going on in my life, period. So to be on your podcast, I was like,
I
you
know.
know what? This is my opportunity to hopefully shed light and help somebody else. But girl, I'm telling you, I've had anxiety leading up to this. But anyway,
Really? Really? Is this something that you've always been like this? Like all your life?
I know you can't tell, huh? Because the work me and the private me or the personal me are
Mm. Oh no,
two
I could
different
tell.
animals.
I could tell from the military because you've always been about your business, right? You're about the sailors, but
Mhm.
you always stay to yourself anyways. So regardless,
Yeah.
you're gonna do what you got to do for work, but nobody knows anything about Shell outside of work. So
Yes.
wow. So I
So,
really appreciate you doing this then.
oh, not a problem. I'm glad you asked. Like, I'm
Yeah.
glad you asked because up until this year, I have not even been a during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I haven't participated in anything
No.
before this year. I hadn't connected until this year. This year is
Yeah.
the first year I felt like, okay, I need to connect. So what I started doing the beginning of the month, I crochet.
Yeah.
So what I started doing at the beginning of the month, I started crocheting stuff. So every day I crochet something for breast cancer awareness, and I'll
Oh.
take it to MD Anderson, or I'll take it to St. Vincent's, or I'll take it, or if I, run into somebody and they might have on pink or something, and I'll ask, hey, are you a breast cancer survivor, or do you know someone? And I would say 4 out of 5, and I'm just throwing a number out there.
Right.
It's not a specific,
Mm-hmm.
it's them. Like, you would be amazed at how many women deal with breast cancer. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like,
Right.
I never, imagined the numbers were so high.
And trust me, I know because, like I said, I don't know if you saw, I just posted one and I spoke to three ladies, and they all were in the
I see.
Navy as well. And just to know that they all found the same ducts, they found it themselves. Mammogram said, no, you're good. But if they weren't doing the exams, they wouldn't have found it. Like, oh, girl,
Found it. Yep.
it's scary. So,
Yep. Back
all
to
right.
me. I remember I said I had a normal mammogram.
Mm,
It came back normal for the first time ever.
girl, ooh, Lord. What part of you changed that no one warned you would change? Physically, emotionally, even spiritually, going through this.
For me, the biggest is mental. Mentally, I have become, how do I say it? I'm not as confident mentally as I used to be because you always live with the what ifs
Um,
or wondering, or for me, I'm still, like I say, I'm still dealing with it, so I'm still having to go. I got an oncology appointment on the 8th of next month, so I'm still kind of dealing with it.
so you're still in it.
Cancer free.
Okay, then. Okay.
Let me say that I
Yeah.
am cancer free, but the type of cancer that I had, what I was told, if it returns, for me, I have a 67% return rate.
All right. So,
So
uh,
go ahead.
I guess that's what I should have asked. What type of cancer do you have?
It was ductal carcinoma. So 67% return rate for me based on whatever test they ran or whatever they did when they
Mhm.
when they removed it and tested it, right? So with me, my oncologist said that if my cancer come back, it's going to come back in my bones. And by the time that they catch it, it will be too late. It will be treatable, but uncurable.
Even though it's
So
duct.
basically, I would be getting treated forever. If they, so now for me, I have to have a MRI, a PET scan every year, and MRI every 6 months.
Wow, 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 wow. So, what stage would a ductal carcinoma be?
It stages as well. I was stage 2 when they found out I had it. I was stage 2, but
But then,
it can be an aggressive cancer, but because I caught it when I caught it,
mm,
and that was one of the things that had me like, are you serious? Like, I'm stage 2. Let's go back. Stage 2 in February of 2022. I'm stage 2.
mhm,
But in August of 2021, my mammogram came back normal.
normal.
So I'm already, and for my situation, I was told that my cancer was hiding. That's
It's
what I
hard.
was told. It was hiding.
What does that
That's
mean?
why it wasn't caught on the mammogram.
What does that mean? What do you mean a cancer
It
that's
was
hiding?
hiding, they couldn't see it. When they did the mammogram, they couldn't see it.
Girl, some like talking more and more to people with breast cancer. This is a really scary thing because we're taking mammograms saying, okay, it's going to find it. We're taking mammograms and they're saying you don't do mammograms before 40. And most of the people find out when they're in their 30s, right? And now you're saying
Mhm.
cancer is hidden somewhere. So it really, you have to do your due diligence in doing your self exam every month. Because if not, like you said, the cancer could be hiding.
Women with denser breasts, and
Right.
this is from my oncologist, Dr. Robert Carroll. I'ma say his name. I love that man to death. He is the best oncologist in my book because
Right.
he was mine. And when I say this man took excellent care of me, he took excellent care of me.
That's
But
good.
what he told me when it comes to breast cancer, he says most times the mammogram don't catch it. He say he would recommend women who have dense breasts like mine also have an MRI done, not
Yeah.
just a mammogram. And
It's
you
a
have
crazy.
to request it because they are not going to offer it.
Same thing. I went to do mine this year, just last month, and I asked them, "Can you please put an MRI?" Well, it's coming back clear, so you don't need it. I said, "But it runs in my family. My mom has breast cancer, and it came back a second time."
Oh, wow. So can you ask them for, well, you say your mom's cancer came back?
It came back, and she just did a mastectomy this year.
Can she request genetics? So when they did my because I had a single mastectomy.
She did.
And when they did mine, I requested a genetics testing.
Right.
It's not in my family. It's
It's
not in
not in
my
my family.
genes.
Ooh, yeah, same thing. I did one. Was when my mom had the cancer first. I did a genetics, and it's not in my family either. But then here you go. One thing though, does prostate cancer run in the men in your family, or any other cancer run in the family, men wise?
My father died from prostate cancer that started out as prostate cancer and then became brain cancer.
What in the? Okay. So that's what I've been hearing and been studying a lot lately. They don't tell us that if prostate cancer or certain cancers run in the men, the women could be susceptible to breast cancer as well. That I didn't know
Oh,
before talking to all these
oh,
people. So
you just gave me something because I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. All right. So was there a moment you felt unrecognizable to yourself? You don't even know the woman looking back at you and no?
And still, let
No.
me say this, still feel that. And I'm going to tell you why. As a woman, when you look in the mirror as a woman, I've had reconstructive surgery
Mhm.
since. However, with reconstructive surgery, I still don't have a nipple. They had to take my whole breast. So I just got a cut, right?
All right.
So when you look in the mirror and you see that as a woman and you looking at yourself as a woman and you
Um,
missing your womanly parts or they are scars, and glory be to God, girl. I'm grateful that I'm here. But yeah, it's still to this
right.
day. I battled with before we got on whether or not I was gonna put on a wig or I was just gonna wear my bald head. I love my bald head.
I
I
love your
think
bald
it's
head.
cute. Thank
I
you.
love your
Thank
bald
you.
head, girl.
Thank you. So I every day is still a struggle because with me, my hair still won't grow back. I
Mhm.
still don't have no eyebrows. I drew these.
It is.
Um, I don't have no eyelashes. So
Mm,
all this I had to create. So I deal with that every day. I deal with
mm,
recognizing me as a woman every day. My husband deals with it with me feeling like I'm not beautiful. And he tells me all the time I'm beautiful. Even when I first lost my hair, he would tell me, and at first I didn't feel it.
yeah.
But everybody would see me and be like, oh, everybody can't wear
Girl.
no, but you wearing
Girl.
that bald head. And it built my confidence. That's
Yeah.
how the confidence came is other people seeing me. And just yesterday I went to physical therapy. And after I get done, I go to St. Vincent's and I was sitting, well, I went to sit and there was a
Mhm.
girl sitting there. She told me, she said, you are so beautiful.
Girl.
And I said, "Thank you." She said, "It's hard to know how to say that to someone you don't know." She said, "But I just had to say it." And those things help build my confidence.
Okay.
to try to see myself different, but sometimes it's hard. It's mentally it's hard because again, you live with the scars
Yeah.
and you also live with the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Cancer is not something, that just appears and oh, it's gone and you don't
Right.
have to worry about it no more. That's not how cancer work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to worry all the time. You have to be concerned all the time because you never know when it's going to reoccur.
Yeah, right, right. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you are glowing. I'm telling you, the shell, like I said, you are always beautiful, but just seeing you like this, you don't understand. That's the first thing I said when we got on the phone. You're glowing. All of this
Thank
looks good.
you.
It looks good. I'm
Thank
telling
you.
you. So once you
Thank
went
you.
through that, right? Did it change how you loved, how your relationship looked, your intimacy? Did you change how you receive people now because of going through this journey?
It's funny you say that. I lost a friend because you know how when somebody going through something and it taught me not to say this ever again. When somebody's going through something, we tend to well, other people got it worse than you.
Somebody said that?
A friend of
Oh,
mine, one of my best friends, my closest friend. We not friends anymore, but yeah, she said, "Well, somebody has it worse than you." And that comment triggers me now. Whereas I used to be that person that may have said it that,
mhm.
but it could be worse. I used to say that it could be worse. And I learn that it's easy when you're the person sitting on the side of the bed and not
Yeah.
the person in the bed. It's
Yeah.
easy to say it could be worse, but you don't know what someone's worst is until you've had to experience what worse is for you, if that
That
makes sense.
that makes so much sense. That does. That makes a lot of
So
sense. So, what about the way you love? Like you see your son, like you see your husband. Do you love harder now, or
you love more unconditional because it's one of those things where it shows you that life can change in an instant. You're
right?
not guaranteed the next day. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after. So, yes, it has definitely made me more forgiving of the little things and carefree of the big things per se. I don't sweat the small stuff like they say. I don't carry stuff like I would have carried it before.
Oh wow. Oh no, that's really good. Is there any other thing people say to you now that if you could gently tell them, like, hey, this is not the good thing to say to somebody going through your cancer journey, or to survivors, is there something that you would tell them?
Say learn to listen when you're talking to people who are going through not just cancer, anything. Learn to just listen. Learn
Mm,
to say I'll pray for you. Learn to allow them to have their moment because when you tell them, well, it could have been worse, or what about the person who died from it, or
uh,
you have to understand that what someone's going through in their moment could be their worst moment and you
yeah.
could trigger them. So I would say to people who dealing with people with cancer,
Mm,
with any sickness really, is to be mindful and to be open to allow them to feel what they feeling and encourage them without minimizing their experience.
experience. I love that. So if you know somebody that's going through breast cancer right now, they just found out about breast cancer, what would you tell them?
Girl, that's a good
No.
question.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I don't. What do you tell someone who just been told that they have cancer? Cancer is, in some cases, or in a lot of, that's a death sentence.
Yeah.
So what do you tell? What do I? I don't know. I wish I knew what if I could say to Shell then. I don't know what I would say to myself even today. I don't know, girl.
That's
I
crazy.
don't know.
That's one of the questions I was going to ask you. If your younger version saw you now, right? The one that's still in uniform could see you now. What would she say to you? But at the end of the day, what can you say? Like, I don't even know what to say. All I can say is, I'm here for you. If I need to pray for you, I don't. Sometimes it's so hard when people are going through things. And you don't know what to say to them.
That's true.
All I gotta do is just say, "Hey, I'm here for you. If you need to talk, I'm
Yeah,
here."
that's the best thing to say. There you go.
Yeah.
Just say, because sometimes we look for words and try to, and sometimes you don't need words. You just need someone who's there. And back to my Navy sisters, when I tell you I'm so appreciative of the ones that knew and allowed me my space, didn't push, did the things that they could do from the distance at which they could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was always offered, hey, if you want me to come sit with you, I'll come sit with you. But if I said no, they didn't take it personal.
They
And that's
understood.
something that I would tell to family and close friends is allow people their space and don't take it personal when they don't have the space for you. And
Yeah.
that's why, like I said, I don't have that friend now, because that conversation led into the fact that, oh, you never have time. We always, got to spend time on your time. Do you understand? I'm going through chemo. Do you understand? My white blood cells is low. Do you
Right.
understand that I can't even get a common cold? I could be dead.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can't just be hanging around with you and all your germs. You have a whole family. I can't ask you not to, well, you can't go outside if you want to be around me. So I have to protect myself. And sometimes as people, we don't know how to take it when people tell us no per se.
No.
So
Yeah.
we have to, yeah. So we have to be mindful. And that's one thing I would say, because I do miss my friend.
Mhm. Oh, you had me tearing up. No, I say you had me tearing up because, a couple things like that happened to me during this thing too with losing my daughter. Like a close friend and like a couple other people, even family members, they caught it, started pulling away. Don't know what happened. When you see people for who they are when you're going through struggles, and it's hard because these people are
Yes,
supposed to be your friend, and
yes,
you didn't do anything purposely to your friend. They just didn't understand. They didn't
yeah.
understand what you
They
were
don't
going through.
understand your grief.
Yeah.
And like I said, whether it's cancer, sickness, or loss, we grieve. And me and grief or anything personal going on in my life, I pull back, because one thing about me is I'm spiritual. I'm faith based. I believe in
Mhm.
God. And I believe if I got you in this ear, I can't hear God clearly in this ear. I need to be away from everything and everybody so that I can hear what God is telling me. I need God to pour more faith and more strength into me, and I can't, because of the noise. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people don't understand. Sometimes you just need to be left alone. And that's me. Even when you were going through, I said, hey, if you
You
need
did.
anything, let me know. But I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna pressure you. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna push,
Yeah.
because people life is
Yeah.
lifing for everyone right now. And people have enough on their plate dealing with what's in front of them to
Right.
add anything else to the equation. So you have to allow people to reach out to you. And when they
Yeah.
reach out to you, be there.
Yeah. And
Be there.
that part, that part, like you said, because sometimes you don't even know what you need. You're going through this, you don't even know what you need. So when people are like, "You need something," I'm just here. I don't know what to say, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. Is there something else that you want to put out there though that I have not asked? Because sometimes I miss questions and I don't know, certain questions to ask to make sure everything is put out that you want to put out as well.
Say we tend to categorize life per se. And I've said it a few times since we've been on here. It's not just cancer that affects people everyday lives. It's loss. It's stress from going through things that people don't know you going through, that you're ashamed to stop making people have to ask you for what you know they need.
Mm, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's space. Stop making me say I need space. If you
Right.
see that I'm over here, check in. Hey, you good? You need anything? If the answer no, leave it alone. That's it.
Don't take it personal either.
Exactly. Don't
Yeah,
take it personal, but people don't understand that. They think you acting funny. I'm not acting funny. I'm taking care of me. I'm
yeah,
my first priority.
yeah.
And that may not be for you. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? And for me, peace is important. And I
uh,
think I need my peace more than anything. And when I said peace is my priority, now anything that stresses me or makes me
I'm out.
girl, it's gone. I ain't got for what? We grown. Again, I'm over 50. So,
At Perry in a
uh,
minute, everybody coming now.
girl, when you get there, when you get over 45,
Yeah,
life
yeah.
just different. You be like, that
Did I
ain't
really
even
worry about
important
that
no
earlier?
more.
Yeah, 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 girl. Trust me.
Exactly, girl.
Like,
I've been
ain't
through
nothing
too
bother
much
you
to
no
be
more.
worried
Like,
about
what?
that.
Like, who cares about that? What? Nah, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I really appreciate you being on though. And one of the things that I saw with everybody that I've been talking to, it's the people that were there for them that helps them get through it. Like you spoke about your husband. Was that true for you as well too? Is your community or whoever you allowed, your husband, your kid, you know?
My husband, we wasn't married during the
Okay.
time that I was going through cancer. And remember, we were just after I found out is when our relationship was like, okay, we locked in. Didn't miss an appointment, took me to every single treatment, every single appointment, every does not miss. He's there for everything. He hasn't missed. So, and like you said, when you going through stuff, you learn who got your back
That
and you
part.
learn who just monitoring what you got going on.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah,
Dang.
because some people say they there for you, but they just monitoring what you got going on.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Dang. Shell, I appreciate you. One question before we hang up though. What was one thing that you're grateful for?
That I'm still here for my son. I'm
Yeah,
grateful. And that was one of the things I was like, God, I will fight as hard as I need to fight. I just need to be here for him. I just
yeah,
want to be here to see him become a man. So I am
yeah.
grateful that I'm still here to witness his achievements and everything he has going on. Like my baby senior this year, he got accepted
Congratulations
to
on that.
UNF. So
Congratulations.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the people that I didn't see because we focus so much on the people we think got our back that we overlook the people who really have our back, the friends that really check in, the friends that it may be 6 months since I talked to you, but you've been on my mind. How
Yeah,
you doing? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. No, look, you're saying everything that I've always wanted, I've been trying to say throughout this whole podcast. And I appreciate I'm telling you, you hit everything that's been going on in my head, and sometimes it's hard to speak out loud, but you're right. And I'm glad that you see it and you're able to articulate it for me. Because a lot of times I don't get a lot of things out. So I appreciate you so much. Okay.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you for caring enough to want to hear my story. And thank you for giving me the room to decide when for myself. You know,
Oh,
you didn't
good.
push, you just said whatever, whenever you're available. So I appreciate that. I
Yeah, whenever you're
appreciate
ready.
you giving me the opportunity to speak because I probably would have never
Yeah,
said anything or been as open. It actually feels so relieving right now. Like you have no idea just being able to say that out loud to
good.
someone other than my husband.
Yeah,
This it takes a weight off my shoulder.
good shit. And you don't know how many people this is gonna touch because you see how you came on being you. This is you. A lot of people still are covering up and doing things, but you are so raw right now, and I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate this. So you're gonna be touching a lot of people more than you know.
To God be the glory. I just want to do what he has for me to do. I want people to understand that at the end of the day, what we go through is not for us. That's not something that I always knew. That's something that I I'm learning. I don't even have that 100%.
Uh-huh.
When God sends us through trials and tribulations, it's to strengthen us for others, to be able to
Girl,
encourage His
there you go.
servants and His people that are around us. He needs us to be strong enough to help the next person. So a
Yeah.
lot of times we get into God, why me? What's wrong?
Girl, ooh, Lord. Go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Okay, yeah, we get
I had to get
into
some.
God, why me?
Yeah, yeah.
And I have learned through this journey. Thank you, God. Thank you for allowing me to go through what I've gone through. And you don't know in that moment, but Heather, in this moment, I'm learning in this moment why.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't know why. You know God is gonna use it. You just
Yeah.
don't know when, you don't know how. And we have to be open to say, God, use me. We say we want to be used, but then when we gotta go through them trials and
Uh,
tribulations to be used, it be like, no, hold on, that ain't what I meant.
yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And then so
Mm.
I'm just grateful to you that you reached out and asked so that I could use what God used me for.
Look, a while ago, whatever just happened, that was meant for me. And that's going to be meant for a lot of people because that energy just coming through the computer, I don't even know where it came from. That's why I'm like, whoa, what happened? So, whatever he was saying through you is going to help me to see different and help other people to see. I felt that. So, I appreciate you. All
Not
right,
a
girl. Thank
problem.
you so
All
much,
right.
Cheryl. All right.
All right. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Yeah.
I got you. Talk to me. Lift up